I'd like to make a video and a follow-up project to this reel-to-reel tape player and recorder. This one that I'm making a video of is a Grundig model TS-340 high-fidelity reel-to-reel. It is a 4-track unit, it's stereophonic. It isn't quadraphonic, but it does have the 4-track. So you can record 4 times in mono other than 2 times in stereo. And you can see that the glue has dried over, the time has dried, and then the wooden panel came off. So yeah, I just need to clean that and then re-glue it back on. I'm taking off the cover. It's two latches that hold the top part, and there's a little removable hinge. So that was the record knob. I just need to stop for a second. Is the recording level, and then the one on the right is the playback for the speaker output, and those are a bag of the metal parts that are originally glued on those knobs. They came off over time. The glue has dried, which is that brown stuff you can see on the knobs. And that is the counter, the analog counter, playback counter. You can reset it too. So you take off 4 screws, 2 in the top, 2 in the bottom. Both the screws are different sides. The top screws are thinner and the bottom screws are more thicker. So you just remove them all, and then the front panel should come off. Also, so use a flat head screwdriver. So I already worked on this unit in the past and kind of left it for a while. Then I decided to make a video on it for my school project. And the original problems, it was just dirty, like the rubber parts in it just got really dirty over time. Also due to wear and because it's really old. The machine's 50 years old now. It's made in 1966. It's a nice German-made unit, so that's one of the flathead screws that you unscrew for the knob to come off. But I'll mention it later when I show it in the video. I'm just unscrewing it, the flathead, the lefty loosey, righty tighty, and it just comes right off, right on the top. And there's another one that isn't screwed. It just pops right off. There's a key, so it doesn't. The bottom one, it's keyed, so it doesn't matter how to put it on. The top one isn't. You have to align it right. Make sure the volume shaft for the potentiometer is zeroed, and then you align it right. It's not that hard. So this is now taking off the top front panel of the unit. Looks like I forgot one of the buttons. Yeah, I'm taking it off. So yeah, just 4 screws, and you unscrew the volume and record knob, and take off one more knob, or a couple more knobs, and the rewind fast forward switch. So this is the inside of the unit. Quite mechanically and wiry and full of screws. So those are the heads I just showed for a second. That is the race head, the black one. I'm not sure what those ones are. Either the middle one was the record or playback, or the one in the far right is the record and playback. And that is the pinch roller. I'll mention what kind of mess I got myself into with that. And that's the arm. Yeah, I don't know if okay, in the past when I worked on it, I bent the knob, or the capstan pinch roller arm. I don't know if the original owner of this unit bent it or I did, but it knocked the idler I mean not the idler, the pinch roller, way out of alignment, and it would crunch and mess up the tape. So I thought it was the pinch roller. So I was like trying to fix the pinch roller, and then I got myself got into a mess. I destroyed it completely. It was my mistake. Okay, we're looking at I guess the tube chart. Yeah, so it's TS-340, the basic low tube location diagram thing. That's the EMA4I tube. It's only for record monitoring, visual monitoring, but not playback, which that kind of sucks. That is the pilot light, and you can see that it has a kind of a metally gray metallic shine to it. That's an indication of a high hour unit. It's the metal from in the tungsten that boils off and coats the inner surface of the glass. That gives an idea that the bulb has been burning a lot and high hour. So is the left and right speakers. They're actually pretty good speakers. Some capacitors and things. It seems amazingly electronically everything seems to be fine in this unit. So there's some of the screws to hold the assembly for the playback, and oh yeah, that was a mod I did just to get it to rewind. Without that spring modification I did, rewind wouldn't work due to the idler tires failing. So that's the playback idler tire. There's a crack in it, but it still sort of works. It's good enough grip. I just had to clean it. It was really dirty, and that's the reason why I had trouble playback. That is it. So I'm just showing around the unit. So that's the playback. Engages some of the brakes and disengages those two top brakes during playback, and you can see the arm that moves the idler tire or the pinch roller to the capstan, to the idler wheel capstan. So you can see me putting it in the rewind and fast forward and see how it also disengages those brakes. There's me turning it on now. Yeah, I'm putting it on the second speed, so it's medium. The one of the three, that's the third, that's the fastest speed, so obviously higher end recording would be on that one, and then the lowest would be the first speed. This is a 3-speed unit. See how it moves the big idler tire, or idler wheel, and putting it in playback engages the arm with the pinch roller. So there is the clutch for the take up reel table. That's the counter, pressing the reset. Press pause or stop. So it's pretty much in neutral now. It's in the neutral mode. The motor is still spinning. Nothing is engaged. So I'm putting the rewind on now. So I had to do that little bit of a spring mod just to get that working again, because without it, the rewind idler tire wouldn't even touch the supply take-up table, the table on the left. Putting in rewind, stop, forward, fast forward, stop. Another problem with this unit is that arm, which is that idler tire that hits the brass shaft part of the main AC motor. Over time, you can see there's another crack with that switch part right there, that little cam looking piece. There's a big crack on it, but I didn't really glue it or anything because it wasn't that bad. I just tightened it, but I really should fix that. I should figure out a way of doing that. But anyways, what I just showed earlier of that little arm Yeah, right in there. See whatever I'm moving, that idler tire that is moving on that brass shaft part on the motor, well, the rubber has like turned into like a hard plastic, or like a plastic. It's like really hard over the time. So that's how it's much louder, and it doesn't spin. The lowest speed, it doesn't spin. The low setting, I don't remember how many inches per second. I always forget. But it has trouble. It doesn't spin the idler wheel. But the second speed seems to be working, and the third speed seems to be working. But the main problem with this unit is just the rubber idler wheels, and things with like natural materials have rotted or dried over 50 years, or over all these years. So it's having a bit of a struggle. The slow speed, that is, has the most struggle of playing. So there's me sanding a kind of a custom fabrication of another pinch roller. That particular pinch roller I'm sanding is from an 8-track tape. There's all sorts of different types of 8-track cartridge tapes. They use different types of idler wheels. They're not all the same, or pinch rollers. They're not all the same. So I found one with the smallest one, but it wasn't small enough to fit in the arm of the real drill. Or where the original one that I just destroyed, it was my mistake. I totally just destroyed it. Because I didn't know. But when I realized, or got an idea, or figured that the main arm was bent, when I fixed and realigned it, straightened it, it worked, but it was too late to you see that? Yeah, that's what I destroyed. I destroyed it. So I tried making another one. It's not perfect, but it did get the unit working again. Yeah. But anyways, the original, I had to sand the top and bottom to get it to fit in the original arm. And yeah, I took a piece of Lego, and coincidentally it fits perfectly, like snug, loosely in there. And it worked. And then the metal part where the original idler wheel would go in, it actually fits in pretty good too. So yeah, I just found a Lego piece that actually like worked so good. And it was just like by mistake, or coincidentally. I just randomly wanted to. I was thinking about a Lego piece, and it actually worked. So I sanded the top and bottom of another piece of Lego just to make it fit in properly. And yeah, it works. So I've been trying different types of 8-track pinch rollers. I think it really matters by the pliability, like the squishiness of the rubber. I tried different types. One of them I tried, the first one I tried, it was more solid. The rubber was more of a solid, so I had to adjust the tension, the force tension. I'll show it a little later, to force it against the capstan shaft of the idler wheel. And I tried another one that was more pliable, the one you're seeing, the more grayish one. In the future, it didn't work. Like a little future one, when I added that one, it didn't work because it kept going out of alignment, like the tire part and kind of the geared inner part, the plastic inner part, it would like separate cracked and caused trouble, so I couldn't use the one with the good pliability, like the squishiness was good or whatever. So the one you're seeing, the more grayish one, didn't really work out that good. So I tried another one, a more black colored one that you probably seen earlier. That worked a little better. The thing is, it wasn't perfect, or it isn't perfect. So yeah, but it did get it playing again. I just had to adjust. There was a behind. Not the one I'm right now turning and screwing in right now, but there was another nut that you screw in with a spring that adjusts the force against. I just mentioned it earlier, or said it earlier, but I had to screw it in all the way and have the strongest force against the capstan. See what I'm pointing? Whatever I'm pointing at, that's it. That's what I had to screw in with the nut, with the spring. I think you can see the springs. Apologies for the blurry video. It's a phone recording, and I don't have my good Sony camera available right now. So yeah. So I think it's on now. Yeah, it is. So it's in neutral. Or it's off now. Am I gonna try on neutral yet? Hey, oh yeah, that's a button. Whatever you're looking at, that's the switch that turns on the motor and stuff, and probably the preamps and things with the tubes. This unit is a hybrid unit. It uses I think a germanium, maybe silicon, for the main amplifier to the speakers slash external speakers, or internal cabinet speakers and external speakers. But the preamp and record stuff for the tape, for the reel-to-reel part, I think it's all tube. It's just the last amplifier output is transistor, so this unit is pretty much a hybrid unit. You see the pilot light glowing. Am I gonna turn it to play mode? So yeah, it's in play mode right now. So it's no longer in neutral, it's in play mode. You can see it doing its thing. Also, there's on top of the pin controller arm, there is another adjustment that tilts the pin controller. So I had to align that properly. I mentioned it, showed it a little earlier, me moving it, the angle of the pin controller. But that's pretty important. If it's way off, it would drift towards the bottom or the top, and it will just completely destroy the tape. So I had some fun adjusting that and getting it right. So yeah, yet again, there's the My Spring mod, just to get the rewind working again. It's a shame because I'm so mad at myself at destroying the pin controller, because this unit would have actually been working much better if I didn't destroy it. But whatever, I make mistakes, I'm not perfect. And I didn't know. I never really work on reel-to-reels. I only worked on a Sony TC-560. It was like one of those autoverse ones. And then I have a Lloyd's, like a tiny little Lloyd's rim drive reel-to-reel, which is I might make a video in the future. So anyways, those are like the only units I worked on. And I also disassembled a long time ago a UHER report 4000. It was far from repair, so I just took it apart. And I had another one. I had a report 4000 IC. I just kept some of the parts for that one. So there's it functioning. It's functioning now. It's playing back. I'm just adjusting the potentiometers for the volume and the treble and bass. You can probably see the speaker moving from the bass. Yeah, you can see it. And the left one as well. So it's playing back. I hope I don't get copyright for this. I don't really think so, but this copyright crisis that YouTube is under is just really annoying me. I noticed a lot of videos of my favorites disappearing due to copyright. Just people privating them, or what? Reporting them, flagging them. See one of the tubes under there. Seek along a little bit if possible. Oh yeah, whatever I'm adjusting, those two switches, those are the playback head switches. So if you had one track monophonic, you adjust either one of those. So this unit can record 4 mono tracks and 2 stereo tracks. It's not a quadraphone. It can't play all 4 tracks at once. It would be cool if it did, but it's only stereo. So yeah, those are yet again the idler tires and all that stuff. Tubes, and there's the thick brass AC motor. So there's it's sort of like a wedding cake. Like the bottom part where the capstan idler tire with the arm touches the bottom for the fastest speed, and then the middle would be second speed, and then the top smallest part would be the slow speed, which is see it has struggle playing back because of it's not the tension. There's a spring you can adjust to force the arm against that, but I think it's just the tire isn't having good pliability. It isn't it doesn't connect or grip as good. So, and it is like a hard plastic. It shouldn't, I don't think it would be like that. Yeah, those rubber bands, amazingly, for how old they are still pretty good. They're a little loose, but for moving a little counter, it won't take much. It doesn't really need to be solid, good tension. So yet again, there's playing back again. originally, before I cleaned the main playback table reel idler tire, it would jolt and jump. The playback, or the take-up reel in playback, it would jump and either it won't move at all and then it will jump again and stop or slow down. It would have a hard time taking up the tape, so tensioning wouldn't be that good. So I figured out all of the problems of the unit. That was pretty much everything that I said. Electronically everything's fine. I'm amazed for all those caps and components in those tubes that are still good. There's no hum in the audio. I actually did a little test it playing for a little bit and nothing really bad happened. There was no hum, the caps didn't fail. It sounded actually really good. I even tested on auxiliary input and connected it to a like a media device. I played a video or a cartoon and it sounded really good. It's a shame I don't have the speakers. Original seller, or the guy I got this unit from, had the speakers. I should have got them. Whatever. I don't really care. I really just don't care. We're moving anyway, so I can't really keep. I have to get rid of a lot of stuff. I'm probably not going to keep this unit. I'm gonna try to find a new home. I don't want to just throw it away. I want to at least sell it to someone that would want it, or use it for parts for another unit. Because but really, I can't keep this unit anymore. I have to get rid of it. I have so much stuff. I need to get rid of a lot of things. So it was a good little project. I'm not really going to be using this unit a lot anyway, so I don't think any huge problems are going to occur. The goal was just to get this thing playing again. So I just got to put on the knobs now. I put on the first screws. I just got to put the record knobs and the playback knobs back on. So here they are. The metal parts, yeah, with the glue that dried and they came off, I'm just going to re-glue them. I'm going to clean the knobs and then use some glue and put them back on. You know, I'm amazed that those parts aren't even missing. Like when I got the unit, those things were just like this floating inside with the cover on. So that was the glue. I just used shoe glue. It works. I'm not gonna talk much about that kind of glue, but it does work for plastics. It's really meant for shoes. You can find it in the shoe aisle, like in a Walmart. So yeah, you can take off the cover in case the tape, or to clean up the heads. You don't have to take off the whole top panel. It's easy. There's another panel you can take off in case the tape either gets stuck or messed up. You can see how the playback engages all those things in the idler capstan and pinch roller arm, or the pinch roller arm that moves the pinch roller towards the capstan. So from sleep mode to neutral, so the neutral mode, and then it is pretty much standby, ready for either record, rewind, fast forward, or playback. And you can see the red pilot lamp, the counter. And you can see that I fixed the knobs. I put them back on and glued them. Glued the metal parts on and cleaned them. I also cleaned the unit a little bit because it was a little bit dirty. And I'm putting on the 2 reels. Those 2 reels were from my Sony TC dash 560. That I think you can see it in the right side. That grayish, with the metal like behind my legs. That was the unit. I'm definitely keeping that unit. I like that unit. And it was the actual first reel-to-reel I think I worked on. Yeah, pretty much. So it's playing back. Oh yeah, and yeah, that Lloyd's reel-to-reel. That was from the late 60s. Also the Sony one too. Lloyd's and Sony was from late 60s. I mean, 68. 68. So Lloyd's and Sony was 1968, and this Grundig unit was 1966. The metal chassis in these Grundig, for example, is the Grundig TK-46 or maybe 7, and they have the same metal chassis inside. They just have different cabinets. This one is a TC 340, but it has the same looking inner chassis, metal tape potted or what chassis. So you can hear the playback. If you lift the knob, you can move both knobs left and right independently, and if you drop the knob, you might see me do that. Anyways, if you push the knob down, it locks them both and you can move them both at once. If you lift the knob, it loosens both and you can move them both independently for proper leveling. And to lock it, you just press down. Record has the same thing, but I don't know what feature it is. I tried looking at the manual for this model, but it's all in German and I can't read it, so yeah, I don't know. I can probably figure it out. So that's it. Hope you enjoyed the video of me working on this unit. It was a repair attempt, and really originally, yeah, it wouldn't play when I first got it. It had trouble. It just needed a lot of cleaning with the rubber idler tires. And I don't remember if the owner bent the controller arm or I did. And you can see that the rewind works now. Yeah, I don't know if I bent it or what, but I fixed it. And a temporarily fabrication of a new retrofit controller. It just got it to play again. Oh yeah, and you can see the record visual meter, the EM84 tube, I-tube or whatever. Yeah, so I hope you enjoyed the video.